Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Before we begin our review of The Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 3, we had at least 10 comments revealing the big moment from the episode from Friday until just before the episode began. Apparently the information leaked, and in their excitement, people shared the information in our comments section.
We deleted each of these comments as quickly as we could. However, we apologize if anyone saw the comments and had the episode spoiled. We take full responsibility for monitoring our comments, and if spoilers negatively impact your viewing experience last night's episode, we sincerely apologize.
We actively avoid seeking out spoilers or leaked information regarding every show or film we watch because we love the anticipation of what might happen next. Also, we film live reactions for every episode of The Walking Dead, just in case something major happens, because you never know.
However, because of the spoilers posted in our comment section, our viewing experience of the episode was slanted, and any live reaction that we could have posted was negated because we basically knew what was coming.
Interacting with other Walking Dead fans is why we started this channel. We truly appreciate everyone who takes the time to chat with us about our favorite show. In the future, please be considerate and courteous to your fellow Walking Dead fans, and do not post leaks or other confirmed spoilers in our comments section. This doesn't include fan theories or information from the comics, so let fly with that stuff. Okay, that said, hey guys!
Hey guys!
It's time for another Walking Dead review. This time we're reviewing The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 3, titled Thank You. If you haven't seen the episode and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler.
Alright,
the big question from the episode.
Glenn. Now,
dead or nay?
Yeah, because of the spoiler comments that were, posted, first time watching this, I was like, oh, Glenn's dead.
Yeah.
Like, I was convinced. And then after I went to bed, I started thinking about it, and I was like, is he? I mean, like, right near the end of The Walking Dead, Talking Dead has their little clip thing that they do, and they always say, and a special guest appearance when somebody dies, and he didn't say that this time. So we went back and rewatched that scene like
30 times.
Yeah,
and in slow motion.
Yeah.
And so here's what we came up with. When Glenn is there and he's being eaten, in heavy quotation marks, he does appear to be scooching toward the dumpster. And then when we get the aerial view, the overhead view, he definitely is scooching towards the dumpster.
Yeah, there is a definite, pull scooch type thing. Like,
whether he's pulling
obvious.
or kicking with his feet or whatever,
he moves a good
it's a blatant scooch. Yeah. Now, there are numerous problems with this.
Yeah.
First of all, the dumpster's not high enough off the ground to get under it.
Which, I wasn't really paying attention beforehand. Maybe they used a dumpster that was, but most dumpsters are not. Like, they're pretty close to the ground. So if they did, it's a very unusual dumpster.
Right.
The other big problem with it is when him and Nick fall off, they fall off the edge of the dumpster that Glenn is on, which would have Glenn's feet pointing towards the dumpster and his head pointing towards the herd, inside the herd.
Yeah.
Yet when he pulls himself under the dumpster, or when he's scooching,
when he's just laying there.
When he's laying there, his head's right by the dumpster, right where his feet should be.
Right where the corner of, so his feet would be, like his head is here and his feet are over here. And it should have been like feet here, head over here.
Yeah.
He's in the completely wrong position for the direction they fell. And that is, I think, a mistake in the editing, direction, whatever.
Yeah, because they could have fixed that just by having them fall off somewhere else. Like, had they fallen off from Nicholas's corner towards the dumpster, and he could have landed parallel to the dumpster with his head right there, it would kind of sort of work. Had they fallen like that, they might have torqued just a little bit. It could have worked, but they fell off Glenn's side of the dumpster, which was as far away, his head as far away from the dumpster as possible. I can't think of how they would fall, and it makes sense for his head to be there.
Also, they fall basically parallel to each other, and in the shot, Nicholas's head is nowhere to be seen, which means his body is at least a 45-degree from Glenn's body in order for his head to be out of view. Which leaves Glenn's upper body from shoulders up completely exposed, and his lower body at least from the knees down exposed, probably from even higher than that.
Yeah, and even in some of the editing, like when he first falls, he has a whole shoulder free, yet when they start tearing the guts out, you can't see that shoulder anymore. So, I mean, I guess you could argue that the walkers have moved Nicholas in some way, but it does seem kind of improbable that he got out of that without getting bit.
Exactly. So, here are our thoughts. If Glenn died, it is a total bullshit death. He deserved better.
Yes.
And Steven deserved better. I mean, this is a character who has been on the show from the very beginning, and to go out just randomly and pointlessly, the character deserved better and the actor deserved better. If he survives, it's a bullshit survival, because it's an impossible situation. Yeah,
it is. I understand that they wanted us to think that he died. That's kind of the whole point. Like, if he survives, they wanted us to think that he died, and the whole point of the editing and stuff like that was so that it looked like he did. But I don't think it was done
the whole scene,
best it could have been done to do it.
It seemed just the logistics of the fall and where they landed and everything, they botched it up and down.
Yeah, there was too many inconsistencies.
And for what could be the most important scene in the entire series to this point, to botch that scene, you just can't do that.
Yeah. And another reason why I was kind of unsure had he died or not is because when he falls and the guts are being torn out on top of him, he's crying. Like, it's not pain, it's like fear and remorse of, like, I'm not going to make it home to Maggie. And, you know, more so than agonizing pain. Like, he doesn't look like he's in agonizing pain. He looks like he's scared and he's upset.
Because what's happening is he's looking down as it's happening. And that's not a pain reaction. Your pain reaction is to close your eyes and look away. The fact that he's looking down, he's in shock, and he's like, oh my God, and he is. He's scared, and he's sad. There is not an ounce of pain on his face.
Yeah.
And Steven Yeun is a better actor than that.
Yeah. And that there was kind of like on my mind all day, and I'm like, I don't think he's dead, because that was not like his face and all that, that wasn't death. That was, like you said, scared and sad.
So, how does he get out of this predicament? Our only solution is Jesus.
Yes.
Not the, Jesus, but badass Walking Dead Paul Monroe Jesus.
Yes. That's where my money is at. I think Jesus saves him.
Now, let's say that he does scooch under this dumpster that is somehow high enough off the ground for him to get under. I think Jesus bails him out in a very strong parallel to the way Glenn bailed Rick out in the first season.
Yes.
Alright, that really should have gone in our predictions video, but, whatever. Okay, moving on to other things in this episode. We've talked about this for like 8 minutes.
Yes. So, Glenn deserves 8 minutes dedicated to him.
Absolutely. And if it does come out that he died, we'll spend another 80 minutes talking about him. Okay, so, one thing that I thought was actually pretty funny about this episode is every Alexandrian who questions Rick dies. It's like,
it was every Alexandrian who questioned one of Rick's group, actually.
Yeah,
like,
well, except for Heath.
Yeah, except for Heath. Heath is the notable exception, but basically...
he has a metamorphosis at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Basically, like, every single one, like, right in the beginning, some guy's like, this is Rick's fault, this, you know, blah, 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 and bam, he gets eaten.
He gets his throat ripped out by a walker.
Like, almost immediately. It's like, if you say Rick's name in a bad way, you're going down.
You're like, Rick. Ah!
Yeah. And then... I guess there's the one Alexandrian who just got scared and ran away.
He got scared and ran away, and he floppy hat. His name was Sturgis, and then there was David, who, you know, you kind of knew he got bit prior anyway,
Yeah.
and then he was writing kind of a goodbye note to his wife, which he tried to give to Michonne, and she said, no, we're going to take you back. And then he got eaten and dropped the note, and now his wife is not going to have that note. And that's kind of, you know, in like war movies and stuff like that, that's something that always happens.
Yeah, it's a predictor. Like when he was writing that note, you knew he was not getting back to Alexandria.
And you knew that the note was never going to make it back.
Yeah. That's just, it's classic.
Yeah. It's not really cliche
no,
if
it's
done
just
right.
classic.
And they did it right.
Yeah, it was good. Like, he could have made it. In fact, he might have made it. I think he kind of allowed himself to be pulled down so Michonne could make it.
That's possible, and I thought about this all, you know, well, not all day, but a little bit today. And you know, he lost a lot of blood. He was very tired, so his grip could have genuinely been that weak.
Yeah.
To where he got pulled in, and Michonne didn't.
Yeah, but I kind of think, like, I know he let Michonne go up first because he was already bit. So why risk somebody else? He was already dead. And I don't know. I just kind of think like maybe he was trying, and then when he realized Michonne was fighting him off too, I think he might have just given up. Like, well, there's no reason for both of us to die. I can distract them at least.
Okay, we mentioned Heath for just a second there. Heath was super passive-aggressive in this episode, and Michonne finally let him have it. Yes. And this was something that Heath needed to have happen to him. He needed a Michonne talking to.
Yes, and he had such, like, his character had so much development in this episode. Because, like you said, he was very passive-aggressive. Take two. Michonne gives him a strict talking to, and like basically puts him in his place. Although he doesn't think so quite yet, but it does bring him into, like, makes him fall in line. But then, like, as they're crossing the creek to get back to Alexandria, he looks down and his face is covered in blood and stuff. And it was just like this stark reminder of Michonne's rant where she was like, you don't know what it's like until you're covered in so much blood. You don't know if it's yours, Walker's, or your friends. And it's just like he looks down and that you just get pounded in the feels.
Yeah. And he has this kind of come to Jesus moment where he's like, okay, she's right. Yeah. And I need to listen to her because I thought I knew how to survive in this world, and I really don't.
It's basically like every single Alexandrian has had to have this metamorphosis. Like, none of them want to believe Rick's group. They just think they're, like, heathens because they've been out there on their own too long. And it's like every single one is having their moment where they're realizing, no, these people know what they're talking about. We need to shut up.
Everybody who survives has
everybody who survives.
Which is, it's going to spell doom for the Wolves once they decide to come back, because the Alexandrians are all going to fall in line, and it's going to be a united front against the Wolves. And damn, it's going to be a bad day. And the episode ends on a major cliffhanger with Rick stuck in the RV as the herd kind of just swarms toward it. And I mean, did they ever show him actually close the door? I hope he did.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if they showed him close the door.
They didn't. I don't think they showed it, but I don't recall the door being open when it panned up, because it did pan up and you could see the dead wolves along the side that he had killed. But I mean, where it was at, it's not exactly unplausible for him to lie down and just let the herd pass, and it's also not unplausible for him to get out and run ahead of the herd. Yeah. I mean, they're slow, and he's just in the beginning of this herd. He could outrun it. Although he did just kind of run a mini marathon in that entire episode.
He ran like a half marathon in the first half of the episode. Yeah. It's crazy because their plan was to take the herd, 20 miles away. Yeah. And I don't know how far they got into it, but he ran.
Like 5. So less than 5, because I remember Sasha and Abraham, Daryl asked them, how far have we gone? Right. And they said 5. So they're probably between 4 and 5 when half of the herd broke off.
So, I mean, he ran borderline 5 miles at a dead sprint. Yeah. So the dude's exhausted, and the fact that he took down 2 wolves after running 5 miles and taking on the walkers that were on the side of the road, damn near cutting his hand off with that machete that was stuck in the one walker. Yeah. And man, that just shows how badass Rick is. Go Rick. Yeah. Daryl was, of course, in the episode, but he, left to go back to Alexandria, and then he came back. So that was Daryl's story. Yeah. And Abraham and Sasha were just staying the course. Yeah. And that's kind of everything that happened. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this review. If we missed anything, something you think we should talk about that we didn't, let us know in the comments and we can discuss it down there. Also, if you enjoyed this video, and we certainly hope you did, be sure to let us know by clicking that like button and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you really soon with our prediction video.
Yeah.